What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Hey, everybody. What is going on? This is Plan Your Greatness, and I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And let's get started today. And today it's Woke Wednesday. Yes, it is. And I've got a question for you. Is everything that happens in your relationships, is it personal? We're going to discuss that here on Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel.
Stripped down to my skin and my bones. I love huskies, but I feel like a wolf. In a pack, but I feel all alone.
Hey, we are back. It is Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. And we are discussing this week, we are digging into relationships, some of the intricate components that go into, successful, unsuccessful relationships. Now, again, I'm not a therapist or anything. I'm just giving my opinion on some things. And this is a lot of feedback from experience. I am the father of 2 teenagers. I've been married. I've been divorced. So I have some insight. I've dated. And I've had some things. I've had a very unique experience in my life. I've traveled quite a bit. I got to play professional sports. And if you've been following my channel, you know I also spent some time in prison. And there were components that led up to that. And then after prison, I've written a book, Plan Your Greatness, Life, Love, and Business After Sports and Prison. So when you add all those things together, I have a very unique set of experiences that I'm trying to share this week with our topic being on relationships. All right, with that said, let's get into it. The question that we're asking is everything that happens in our relationships, is it personal? Let's think about that for a second. Now, what is my answer to that? What do I think? Okay, my answer to that is yes, it is. Everything that happens to us in relationships is personal. But there's a caveat. It's only if you say so. Because there are 9 areas of interaction that we have with people in our lives on a daily basis. It is, and this is Neely Fuller. He came up with these 9 areas of interaction that we have. It is economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Of those 9 areas, we are always interacting in either short-term or long-term relationships with people. Now, reason why this has come up is because there's been tons of interaction. There's been tons of feedback that I've gotten from people, and people are asking this question. I've seen people react to things that when you really break them down and you really evaluate them, you have to kind of wonder, why is a person reacting in the way that they're acting to this relationship, whether it's short-term or long-term relationship? All right, so this is what's going on. There are people out there that are feeling disrespected, meaning that they're taking things personal in their short-term or long-term relationships. So my thing is that if you feel disrespected, you want to make sure that you're doing a correct evaluation of what is going on. So how do you react? And what happens at that level is we're either going to react on our most emotional and what I call our lowest self-response, and that is emotional. Are you going to punch something? Are you going to break something? Are you going to scream? And understand that all those things, all those quick emotional reactions, they have consequences. I'm your perfect example of that. In the years that I left professional baseball, I ended up reacting emotionally to the separation, which actually spent me into depression. Eventually, it spent me into homelessness. I became very irresponsible. And then that took me into being involved in an armed robbery, which then took me into being incarcerated. All because I took what happened to me personal and I reacted very emotional. Okay. And so with those consequences, you learn over time that there's some battles you can fight, and then there's other ones you can just let go. And in my situation, if I had really looked at how to attack my situation, the battles, I would have reacted a little bit differently. Because to me, there's three things you need to look at. Again, is everything personal that happens to us in our relationships? And my answer is, yes, it is, if you say so. So now let's go back to the evaluation of a situation. You're going to take three things like immediately in addressing that relationship situation. You're going to take in time, you're going to take in place or the environment, and the people or the players or parties involved. Real quickly, time, place, people. You take those things and over time you're going to get quicker at addressing those things. But initially, time, place, and parties involved. Now let's think of it in the context of sports. Okay, I'm a professional baseball player. Now, in baseball, you must know what the count is, how many outs there are, if there's anybody on base, and the score and the inning. Because if a game is tied 2-2 in the second inning and you add in all those factors, it's altogether different than if the game is 2-2 in the ninth inning and you add in all them factors. There's going to be totally different things that everybody is going to do based on that situation. Okay, so you need to know those things. Now let's go to basketball. Okay, in basketball, you must know where the ball is. You must know where your offensive player or defensive player is. You must know the score, and you must know the time. If you know all those things, and there's some other things to maybe add, but the major ones you must know where the ball is. Your defender, if you're on offense, you're the offensive player if you're on defense. Then you must know the score and the time. Because again, if there's 10 seconds left in the first quarter, it is much different than if it's tie score and 10 seconds left in the game. You're going to react totally different on everything involved in that. Now, the last one is football. Football, you must know. You hear them saying this, down and distance, down and distance, down and distance. Exactly. Every football player should know what down it is, what is the distance between either a team getting a first down or scoring. And then you must know, okay, down, distance, you must know the score, and you must also know the time. So again, it goes back to like your human interaction. You must know time, place, and the parties involved. If you are aware of that, you are always going to be on top of everything. All right, so I have this exercise that's in the book. Again, shameless plug, Plan Your Greatness, Life, Love, and Business After Sports and Prison. In that, I believe it's chapter 12. It is called the TCR thinking exercise. T stands for thinking or thought. C stands for create. Okay. And R stands for react. And what it does, it gives you layers on how you're looking at a situation. And I break them down in what I call FLA, SLA, and TLA, which is FLA is your first level of awareness or action. SLA is your second level of action. And then TLA is your third level of action. Okay. I'm going to break this down real quickly. Okay. I'm going to take you through it real quickly. All right. So let's say I tell you, okay, I'm going to give you 3 seconds. And what I want you to do is think of something, a grand goal that you want, whether it's a material object or something that you know, not quite tangible, you know, something produced. Anyway, just think of something that you want to have. And I'm going to give you 3 seconds. So when I say go, you're going to have this piece of paper with 3 sections on it. And you're going to write in the first section, what is your major goal? And I'm going to say go. So 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay, I'm going to say stop, put your pen or pencils down. Now, if you were in the middle of a thought, I want you to write that thought out completely and then take the piece of paper and fold it so you don't see that first thought and you still see the other 2 pieces of sections of the paper that you either made lines or you folded. All right, so you finish your thought. We go on to the next one. So then now what I want you to do is I want you to put that first thought in your mind. But what I want you to do is embellish on it, enhance it, make that thought better. And when I say go, you raise your pencil and then you write into the second area that first thought. But what I want you to do is take it to the next level, advance it, embellish it. Okay, ready, go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Stop. Now I'm going to say the same thing again. If you were in the middle of a thought, I want you to finish it out. Okay, just take a couple of seconds, finish it out, and then put your pen or pencil down, fold the paper over that you can't see section 1 or you can't see section 2, and the only thing that's going to be available is section 3. You took 5 seconds to just kind of clean up your thoughts a little bit. All right, so now we go into the third level, the TLA, the third level of awareness or the third level of action. All right, in this third level, what I want you to do is I want you to take the thought that you went in the first and second levels of thinking. I want you to take this as far as you can go. I'm going to give you a little bit of time, but I'm not going to give you too much. But I want you to think about what it was that you embellished on it, but really try to fill it in with as much detail as you can. All right, I'm going to give you a little bit more time. Ready, go. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007. All right, put your pens or pencils down. And what I want you to do is look at that thought and then take a little bit of time and really embellish on it some more. Think of what you can do to make that thought more three-dimensional. All right, so take a few moments, do that, and then put your pencils down. Now, I just took you through a very simple thought process of looking at something and then giving it a second or third look to see if you can make that any better. Now, what I would say is, what I want you to do is open up that piece of paper and look at all three. Now, the first level of awareness, the FLA, that's your initial emotional reaction to something. You wanted something. Let's just say, for example, you wanted a house. Okay, oh, I want a house. Boom, you just saw a house. Then I said, okay, take it to the next level. Then you might start thinking of maybe what neighborhood it was in. What was it going to look like? Maybe 2 or 3 bedrooms. Maybe is there a pool? Bam, you stopped on that one because you couldn't go any further. All right, so now the third level is, now you're thinking how big the house is, the pool, is there a car in the garage? Is it 2 or 3 car garage, upstairs, downstairs, how many square feet? You see what I'm saying? It becomes more detailed. And if you do that in the sense of problem solving, you think somebody has disrespected you, you start looking at time, place, people involved. And then when you really get down to it, you go, oh yeah, that fool really disrespected me. You have some accurate information to go off on. Or you look at it and you go, you know what? It's not really that serious. I'm not even going to worry about it. Or you go, nah, you know what? I think I may have misinterpreted it. And you have that ability to do that because, again, is everything personal that happens to us? Yes, it is, if we say so. But then when we start evaluating the 9 areas of interaction, we start evaluating time, place, we start, evaluating the thought process, the TCR thinking exercise, and you could do that quickly. Like we just went through that, and we're on this, the show, and we've gone through that, and it hasn't even been 2 or 3 minutes, and we've already come up with a better way to look at something, a better way to problem solve. And if we are doing that, it gets to the point where in the movie, The Godfather, I love this interaction because they had this reoccurring theme. And I believe this was in the first one, and I think the answer came about in The Godfather 2. In Godfather 1, they would always say, hey, it's not personal. It's just business. This is business. It's never personal. It's business. It's business. And then in Godfather 2, I believe, then he finally came out and said, it's always personal. So anything that happens to us, it's always personal if we say so. But how do we react? How do we evaluate the information so that we can actually make a good response so that we're not really killing ourselves in the way that we're looking at a situation. So now, again, if you are doing this, if you are looking at every situation and saying, yes, this is personal, but let me do a quick evaluation. Let me look at time, place. Let me look at the areas that we're interacting with, the people that are involved. Let me think through it a couple of layers. You can do that very quickly. And I'm actually trying to teach my kids to look at situations that way, because once you do that better and better and better, you are absolutely planning your greatness. All right. Now, my call to action to you is take a moment on every situation that you feel a little bit uneasy. Try to train yourself, become very intentional and very strategic in looking at it and say, you know what, let me just take a moment and look at it so I'm not reacting, so I'm not getting fired from a job because I have this emotional reaction, that I'm not ruining personal relationships because I'm having this quick emotional reaction, that I'm not pushing people away, that I'm being hard on my employees because I have this emotional reaction that I'm bringing to the table based on some other baggage. And that's a whole nother video and conversation that we can have where we're talking about that. All right. Now, make sure that you are hitting the like button, the share button, the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you can get the updates when I go live or when I'm just posting a video. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram. I'm posting stuff. You're actually going to get an update of when these videos are going live. I'm on Twitter, same thing. You're going to get the updates on there. So if you're on Twitter, Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're going to be able to know when these things are going and be able to stay updated. And again, if you're doing all that stuff, you are absolutely planning your greatness. All right. So I will leave you with what I always leave you with. I want you to think about planning your greatness. Because you know why? Yep. Because no one else will. I will see you all next Wednesday on Woke Wednesdays on the Plan Your Greatness channel. You guys all.
A young boy once was all alone. No one knew he was home.